Hello Capricorn, so I'm doing your weekly tarot for June 19th to the 26th. I'm going to take a look at what is going on in your situation. We'll find out why it's happening. We're looking at anything going on in your blind spot, figuring out what it is that's working for you at this time. And of course, we're seeing how it is likely going to play out for you, okay? Right, so I don't normally take the two cards that do that and actually look at what it is that's come out before I've sorted out the deck. Right now, I feel before we even look at these that there is something unexpected that's going on with you guys this week, right? See, usually the cards are face down like that. So yeah, there's something very unexpected that's taking place this week. It might take you by surprise. And I feel as well that a situation is likely going to pull you out of your usual routine. Okay. So I would say with that in mind, Capricorn, to go into this week with this plan in your head, that you're going to adapt no matter what happens, okay? The key with this week, Capricorn, is to keep your stress levels low and to try not to allow anything to really get under your skin, is what I want to say, okay? Especially where this is about situations that you don't have control over. Okay, situations that do require a response, but you being stressed is not going to help you with the response that that situation is going to need. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, let's take a look at what the cards are saying. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Appropriate. Become still and intent. See the truth with grace and focus. You don't have to be drawn into the dramas of others or the suffering of repetitive struggles. Gaslighting is indicated. Now, I couldn't even see the text on that card. Like, I'm holding it up here and you guys can probably barely see it as well. You can't see it at all when the card is like that. Also, because of the way that the lights are reflecting off the card, it's impossible to read that when it's in that position. So I am convinced now, Capricorn, absolutely convinced, that your response to this week is going to be absolutely everything, okay? See the truth with grace and focus. So yeah, a difficult situation arises, Capricorn, that might well piss you off. Absolutely. I also feel with this that I know you're going to hate me for this one, Capricorn. You're being reminded to trust the process. Okay, you have to trust the process. We're going to get to the gaslighting in a minute. I'll get the tarot out and we'll go through it all. Softly, softly, the tender touch. So be the hunter, not the hunted, but with a tender touch. So there's a very fine balance that you're needing to strike this week, Capricorn. Okay. Almost like putting boundaries in place without being abrasive. Trying to de-escalate a difficult situation, or trying to bring down the tone in the room. Okay, if everything's getting a bit heated, you're the one that's going to be bringing down the tone. Not in a bad way, right? I know a lot of people say, "Oh, stop bringing down the tone," and they mean it in a negative context. The context that this message is coming through is in a very positive one for you guys. Okay, so it's like bringing the heat levels down. Almost. And it says to rebel against any voice of fear, either internal or external. It is okay to become softer, using the power of attraction to manifest. Right? So yeah, there's a lot of really important clues there, Capricorn. You using the powers of attraction to successfully manifest what it is that you're trying to achieve this week. Also using the powers of attraction in order to de-escalate. I definitely, like, they keep repeating it, de-escalate, de-escalate, de-escalate. So I need to take a look into that one, like, right now, and let's find out what the heck is going on here. Because it is unusual that they will repeat a message like that. Okay. You know, where they really want to put emphasis on a particular word. That's really, really unusual. So yeah, what is it that Capricorn is needing to de-escalate this week, please? What is going on that Capricorn needs to de-escalate? A Six of Pentacles. You know what I'm getting with this one, Capricorn, and again, it's really unusual. Someone can dish it out, but they can't take it. I never get that with the Six of Pentacles. Not traditionally. They can give it out, but they can't take it. And it's up to you here to de-escalate it. There's also a message of acceptance, affected and appreciated. So you don't have to accept disrespect, right? There's a message here of what you accept is ultimately what you continue to allow, okay? Can you tell us more for Capricorn about this, about de-escalating this situation? King of Pentacles. This might be going on within a professional setting, because you do have two cards of Pentacles coming out now. Yes, it can be about your own personal growth, but I feel that this is more to do with you maintaining your professional position, right? You approaching or tackling this difficulty very, very professionally. Because King of Pentacles, now it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, they're constantly thinking of potential consequences because they're very much long-term thinkers, okay? So this situation is straight away going to have your head going to a place of, do you know what? I can't really respond in the way that I actually want to respond to this person because I need to think about my own future. I need to think about my own security. I need to think about my own ability to earn a living. Do you know what I mean? Okay. There's also something to do with your reputation as well, and how you've got a reputation to keep, and a professional one at that. What's this message about potential gaslighting, Capricorn? The Four of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. Again with the Pentacles, Capricorn. Potential gaslighting. So that Four of Pentacles would be withholding in order for someone else to basically get their own way with that Wheel of Fortune. I feel Capricorn, like someone's trying to force their will onto you, and they're certain that that's going to work. Again, I do apologize for the sound of construction that's going on outside if it is coming through the microphone, okay? There's a lot of work that's going on out in the street today that nothing to do with us. What's this message about? Someone trying to get their own way here. Judgment off balance. There might be a Scorpio It could be Libra, Sagittarius, Aquarius also. Obviously, they don't have to be those signs, okay? They could just be coming from that energy. Now, I feel with this judgment off balance that it's very short-sighted, okay? Whoever this person is, whatever they're getting up to here, Capricorn, whatever it is that they're trying to rewrite history or avoid personal accountability for something here, it's very short-sighted. Okay, judgment off balance can imply, especially with the Wheel of Fortune, that someone does get their own way, but it's only temporarily. Okay, it's like an empty win, right? It's that kind of energy because they haven't thought it through. So I very much suspect here, Capricorn, that this person's permanent reputation within that particular professional field is going to be permanently negatively affected because they're only thinking about winning this battle and not the war ultimately. Okay, as a metaphor, of course, right? You're more thinking long term here. So that is going to piss you off, the fact that this person does temporarily end up getting their own way through lies, deceit, gaslighting, which was mentioned in that card there. You can see it for what it is, right? You're not daft. You're not stupid. You can see it for exactly what it is. So their little win, quote unquote win, is very short-lived, okay? Very short-lived. I mean, I'm speaking in terms of like a week, maybe even less. Okay, it's very short-lived win, very short-lived gain. And then you got Justice and the Star. So 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana here. Yeah. Having a lot of major arcana in quick succession to each other always indicates that there are permanent changes that are going on. And then whether or not they're good or positive changes, it depends entirely on the type of card that's come out. Okay. For you, Capricorn, this is permanent good changes. So what we've got here is basically this person is embarrassing themselves. You're holding the fort. You're holding your ground. And it is like watching them get this win, feeling pissed off about it, but then you quickly seeing, oh, I can see that this is going to go wrong real quick for them. Okay. So you holding your ground in that way. If they're throwing anything at you that can potentially be seen as bait, you're not going to take it. You're just going to leave it there on the ground, sort of raise your eyebrow at it and, tut and look away. Right. It's definitely given me that impression here with this energy. Ultimately, you are looking at, with this Justice and the Star coming out, you are looking at this situation being corrected fairly quickly. Okay. So in the meanwhile, even if it's for 1 day, 2 days, whatever, hold your own ground. Okay. What you mustn't do in this situation, Capricorn, and I doubt you'd do it anyway, because you're not typically known for doing this. But what you mustn't do is give in to how you feel in that pissed off moment, okay? But like I said, I don't feel that that's going to be much of an issue for you anyway, Capricorn, because you are very naturally more inclined to be, quite the strategist. You are very, very good at being able to hide how you truly feel and carry on with your day, right? I'm not saying that that's good or bad or healthy or unhealthy. There's a time and a place for everything, isn't there? Right? I mean, if we all walked around demonstrating how we were feeling every single minute of every single day, the world would be in a much worse place than it currently is right now. Do you know what I mean? So there's a time and a place, and you are naturally quite stoic anyway. So that's really gonna work in your favor this week, Capricorn. It definitely is. Because again, it's like if this person can't get a gauge on you being pissed off because you're not revealing that little chink in your armor, it's going to destabilize them. And you know that. You know that. Okay, so that's the situation at hand anyway. You are going to have to wear that shit-eating grin for like a day or two, Capricorn. But then after that, you get front row seats to them having to face their own karma. Catalytic energy, Capricorn. What you want wants you. It says whether you see it coming or not, your desire is already on its way to you. Okay, so again, this is going to manifest into your own physical reality differently from other Capricorns, okay? Because not all Capricorns, of course, are dealing with the exact same situation at the exact same time, nor is all Capricorns trying to create or manifest the exact same thing at the exact same time, okay? Ultimately, you have to keep in mind, Capricorn, that what you want, what you need, it is in alignment with you, okay? It is... I was going to say it's on its way, but I honestly, Capricorn, with this energy, I feel like it's already here. Okay. And I know you're saying, what's on its way? Well, whatever it is that you've been wanting, whatever it is that you have been trying to create, whatever you've been trying to manifest. Okay. It's already here. I do feel that. The Seven of Cups, that one has come out off balance, which means you're starting to see the situation a lot clearer. Things are slowly becoming more and more obvious as each day passes. But furthermore, with this being catalytic energies, it indicates to me that at this time you do have you do have a strong focus here, so you're not easily distracted, right? Because it's off balance. You already know what it is that you want. You've already been putting in the work here. Now it kind of feels like you're just waiting for the results of that. Yeah, Eight of Swords also off balance. The waiting is the worst part, isn't it? And it does make you feel stuck, trapped, or disillusioned, jaded, okay, anything like that. But ultimately, patience is going to be required. Okay, yeah, see the sun reversed. So again, catalytic energy. I feel that actually you're expecting the worst, or you're fearing the worst, but you're also trying to do your best here to keep on top of any negative thoughts here. And for the most part, Capricorn, you are doing a really good job of keeping on top of those negative thoughts and, you know, just making sure that they're not going to overcome you. Because, yeah, like this energy here with the Eight of Swords, that can make a person feel incredibly overwhelmed. But remember, it didn't come out entirely in the upright position. It was off kilter. It was off balance, right? So you're actively combating, if you will, any sort of negative and or restrictive thoughts here. And I feel that this difficult individual is just, you know, they're kind of adding fuel to the fire. Yeah. But I don't see them able to cause any real long-term damage either. Okay, what's going on in your blind spot? A sacred fool. Okay. Yeah, a bit of a play on the Joker. Right, so here's what it says, Capricorn. Stay on your path. Stay on your journey and take nothing too seriously. You are... Oh, Capricorn, I hope you're sitting down for this next message. You are sane in an insane world. I do struggle to read my own writing. It is absolutely atrocious. So you are sane in an insane world, and that's in your blind spot. So Capricorn, you're not mad, you're not going crazy, you're not imagining shit, okay? Things really are the way that you're seeing them at this time. It is vital that you do stay true to your own journey, to your own path. And again, you can see here it's literally someone wearing a Joker hat and they're puppeteering another person. Okay, it's like it begs the question, who's really in charge? Who's really in charge, right? So in your blind spot, I feel like there is an assumption here that's being made somewhere along the lines where you, Capricorn, could well be assuming this individual is just treating everybody any old way, and they are winning at life, and they're just getting away with being horrible, and you know, they're just getting away with being a liar. Why can no one else see it, right? Which, fair enough, if no one else can see it at the moment, Capricorn, they very soon will. Okay, they very soon will, because they're not going to be able to keep this game up for much longer. I don't know what is going on with that camera. It absolutely refuses to stay in focus. But yeah, they're not going to be able to keep this game up for much longer, okay, Capricorn? So it says, don't worry what others think. Just be. So yeah, just be yourself, Capricorn. Releasing the need to try and make sense of things, okay? So you don't need to have all of the answers all of the time, okay? And in fact, with this one, just because you don't have the answers right now, it doesn't mean to say that you're wrong about what is really going on, right? Especially where a person has been, you know, with gaslighting, like that's abuse. Okay, it is abuse. So you might not be able to articulate what they've been doing, what they've been getting up to. That doesn't mean to say that it's not real. Because when you think about it, if there has been any gaslighting that's been going on, that means that the gaslighting was quite effective if you're unable to articulate it, right? Can you tell us more about Capricorn's blind spot? Whoa. A page of wands and the star. Interesting. In your blind spot. That page of wands is going to require further clarification. Okay. The star, that's all about your wish fulfillment. So you're being made out like you're the one that's in the wrong here, Capricorn. And you know that actually you're not the one that's in the wrong. You're not the one here that's made a mistake. You're not the one here that has lied. Okay. I do feel like you're just waiting now for the truth to come out here. Ace of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and a Queen of Cups off balance. That's to clarify your page of wands. So someone's been putting on an act. Someone's been putting on an act. They've been putting on a show. It's in your blind spot. Likely you were the first person to notice this, or you were the first person to raise your concerns here. Okay, we've got the energy of a person with this Queen of Cups off balance who makes a big show about how empathic they are, about how loving and how generous they are, when the truth is they don't actually do anything to help out another person if it doesn't personally benefit themselves, right? I feel here like you have clocked several inconsistencies, several. And the fact that you're currently unable to articulate it tells me that they have put on a good show. Because again, going back to that Joker, or the Sacred Fool, the Joker energy, back in the days, the Jokers, the Jesters, what was their thing? To entertain the kings and queens of the land, or to entertain the plebs of the land, right? When you really think about it, that's a position of power and influence, right? It's all about being able to hold the captive audience. And when you can do that, you're in a power, you're in a position of power and influence, right? So this person has been putting on a show. They've definitely been putting on a show. And unfortunately, this one here, the gullible and the naive, I thought that this energy felt a bit off, which is why I clarified it. Unfortunately, yes, the gullible and the naive, they fell for it. Like they completely fell for it. So now that you're shining light on that, that straight away makes you a threat. Okay. There's only so long that a person can pretend to be kind, loving, honest, generous. Okay. The people who do that, they cannot keep up the act forever. They genuinely cannot. That Two of Pentacles there, it feels like it's saying, Capricorn, you're going to have to wait and watch this space. Okay. Was working for you, heaven sent, spiritual gifts, assistance is coming your way. Try not to censor yourself, an energy of gratitude. Okay, so what's working for you is you being focused on what you have in your life that that you're grateful for. Okay, focus on that gratitude attitude in the meanwhile. Focus on your spiritual gifts. And they are saying here, yes, you have got spiritual assistance, Capricorn, that is going to help you out with this, okay? Can you tell us more? The Two of Wands. Yeah, it's to do with the big decision here that you're needing to make this week, Capricorn. What is this decision? Strength. Oh, and the Ten of Cups off balance. Okay. So the big decision that you're making this week, Capricorn, I feel, is how involved you're going to be with certain individuals here, with this Ten of Cups coming out off balance. Okay, your big decisions like, okay, do I have the strength that is needed to keep this going? Can I really put up with this for much longer? what's it going to take for me to just try and get along with this person versus what's it going to take me cutting my losses and leaving this person, right? Your big decision also is about how much you really care. Because I feel like you're giving far more of a fuck than what you should be. Do you know what I mean? Especially when it comes down to certain naive people following along with whatever that other person's saying or doing. Sometimes you just have to let the naive ones go so that they can learn how to fly for themselves, right? I feel like you care too much, Capricorn. So what's going to work for you in your favor this week, Capricorn, is if you just take a couple of steps back. Restore and replenish for how this is likely going to play out. You're at an important transitional stage, a call to try something different and break from your routine, a danger of you selling your accomplishment short. Okay, so there's a danger here, Capricorn, that you might not end up giving yourself enough credit for something here, right? You could be achieving something really quite very grand this week, and then you know, making it like, oh, it's no big deal. Do you know what I mean? I feel that this is calling for you to celebrate yourself, your achievements, to take some time to reflect. Okay? Literally restore and replenish for how this is going to how this is likely going to turn out. You put in more emphasis on what it is that you're needing at this time, and you've got the Ace of Swords that's coming out again. Mental clarity. Mental clarity. Your first card that came out mentioned gaslighting. See, now, here's the thing, right? You're going to get to the point, Capricorn, this week where you're going to be able to think back and reflect on everything that this person has said, done, and lied about, and you're going to see exactly how far back it stretches. You'll see it for exactly what it is. Yeah, 10 of Wands off balance, and at that point, your conscience will be clear. Absolutely 100%. Yeah. Strongest overall energy at the moment, Capricorn, is the Three of Swords, which is hurt, pain, grief. Probably trying to figure out why did this person make it their mission to hurt me? Why? What was the point? Yeah, Six of Swords. Moving away from feeling stuck on trying to answer the wrong question. There's a certain amount of freedom that comes with the Six of Swords. Because in this context, it's very much coming out as you going, you know what? Not my problem at all. I'm going to move on now. Okay, you in clear conscience realizing, I never caused this. I never caused this. It was their choice to do these things. I never caused this. Healing for Capricorn. Cast away negativity. Well, well, well. Okay. Choose carefully your friends, and the people you surround yourself with. At times, you may need to temporarily distance yourself from the people who cannot see your vision and are not in a place to understand your opinion and feelings. Allow them time to grow stronger and to try to see why they feel vulnerable. The rose in the snake's mouth represents kindness. Soften the negative words and thoughts by adopting a positive attitude. Consider whether it's more important to be right or to build a happy and peaceful presence. With a bit of kindness, you might be able to turn the currents in your favor. Capricorn. Softly, softly, the tender touch, but also be the hunter, not the hunted. I'm going to read that back. The rose in the snake's mouth represents kindness. Soften the negative words and thoughts by adopting a positive attitude. Consider whether it's more important to be right or to build a happy and peaceful presence. With a bit of kindness, you might be able to turn the currents in your favor. You catch more flies with honey than what you do vinegar. Playing games is not the path that you want to take. The sword in this card is a symbol of protective power, but also of honor and justice. Use this card when you need to release the negative energy that may be blocking you. Keep this card near when you're trying to grow stronger and rise above the resentful eyes. Look at the snake on the card and imagine it hissing. Suddenly its tongue turns into a beautiful rose and the snake becomes calmer and then falls asleep. And then your affirmation with this one, Capricorn, is I set my boundaries with kindness. Yep. You're advocating for yourself in a very big way. Okay. What else for Capricorn? Okay, if you want to do hot base shit, then you need to stop feeding yourself basic bullshit, right? No longer surrounding yourself with low vibe, negative ass people. Okay, Capricorn. And don't chase and try to impress shitty people. Work hard and be yourself. The people who deserve you will show up in your life when you start respecting who you are and telling the losers and the users to fuck off. Okay? But yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. I genuinely hope that that reading has been helpful. For personal reads with me, my website is phoenixkeiatarot.com. The link for that is in my description box below. Thank you so very, very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.